So grateful that we get to engage together and really grow in all the core areas of our lives. That simply whole wealth formula, relationally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and even financially. Thank you for joining me on Yetta, Raw, and Real, and for engaging and making it fun, because without fun, you know what I always say to my clients, right? All of my real estate clients for the last 30 years have heard me say the same thing, that if I'm not having at least a little bit of fun while I'm out with you, either looking at property or helping you get your home sold, then I'm going home. Because if it ain't fun, I ain't doing it. So how do you bring fun to everything you do? One of the ways that I've had the opportunity to bring some fun into my life, and I'm going to say I've had the opportunity, and yet I didn't create the opportunity, somebody else did. So about 4 months ago, I got this email, and I may have shared it with you before, and I may not have, because I've kind of kept it a little bit secret, a little bit sacred, because I find as I have shared it, even one-on-one, people have stood in judgment of it, and it actually took away a little bit of the enjoyment around it. Well, or it had the opportunity or the possibility of doing that, and I didn't want that to happen. So I started getting really quiet about this amazing opportunity and journey that I've been on. So starting back on February 23rd, I got this email. Have you ever gotten an email and you're trying to figure out who it's from because there's no name on it? Well, it was one of my first. I mean, I've had spam kind of emails like that, but I knew this wasn't spam. It felt different, and yet it came from an email address that was vaguely familiar because it had my name in it. So that made it pretty familiar, except it was vague because I didn't create it. It came from an email address that was Yetta, Y-E-T-T-A, rocks today at gmail.com. And I thought, did I make that when I wasn't thinking? Did Ken do that? Did one of my team members create an email address that was Yetta, rocks today at gmail.com? And as I read the email, and I cannot remember the subject line in the very first one, I think it might have just been Yetta rocks today. I read it, and it was clear it was from somebody that knew me somewhat, and it was inspiring, and it was encouraging, and it was insightful, even that very first one, and yet it didn't have any signature on it. So, and it ended with Yetta rocks today. That's the way the email ended. And so I thought, what am I going to do with this? Well, the opportunity I've had was, I asked who it was, and I got politely told that this was a gift to me and an inspiration, and it's not from a service, it's from an individual, and it has carried on essentially every day since then. So every day I've had the opportunity to engage with somebody whom I don't know for sure who it is. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I could be way wrong, like who really knows? And it has offered insight and perspective and encouragement and help, really, for me living my life fuller than I ever could have without this inspiration, with this insight. Some days they're encouraging me around who they're seeing me to be, so I know that they're watching some of what I'm doing on social media, and other days it's an insight and experience they've had, and then how I might relate to that. Some days it's a question. Most days there's a question kind of built in, and then we'll begin a two-way dialogue that may last a couple of days back and forth on that specific topic. And it has been an incredible opportunity. Why do I share this story with you now? Well, because most days a piece of it becomes who I am that day and who I am that day moving forward. And so it got me thinking, what about you? What is happening in your life that is the catalyst for you to continue to grow every day? This one was a gift that somebody gave me that I wasn't seeking, and yet maybe it's something you did seek out, and yet it's making a difference for you in the day-to-day. What is it? I would like you to comment. I would like you to share. I would like you to bring others on the journey, because as you bring others on the journey, and you get to laugh together and you get to grow together, your life gets better, and so does theirs, because we get to live a little more simply whole in all the areas of wealth, whether it be relationally, whether it be physically, whether it be spiritually, mentally, or even financially. So share, comment, and let's continue to grow and develop with each other, giving each other the best version of ourselves.